what could a team alignment journey look like? Scenario one is a 2-day retreat or offsite. We would start before the offsite even happens with participant assessment. On day one, the morning might be focused on understanding the team dynamics based on the results of the assessment. And then the afternoon would be developing a shared team vision. Day two, the morning could look like building a team blueprint, right? Really aligning on roles, responsibilities, leaning into strengths. And then the afternoon would be closing with team agreements. I mentioned that team alignment is all about coming up with what are we agreeing to as a team, right? How we want to show up as a team. So the afternoon would be coming up with what are those team agreements based on the last 2 days. And then post the retreat would be a 90-day follow-up, right? A check-in, checking in with the team and making sure that the team is making progress. So really checking in on that, and then a strategic debrief with the leaders on what is working and what are some quick wins. Scenario two is a 1-day kickoff with a 6-month journey. And again, we could do a pre-survey, team trust assessment, and then there would be an in-person 1-day kickoff where the morning we would review the assessment results and team goals. And then the afternoon would focus on developing a shared team vision. And then there could be monthly team development virtual labs. And, for this team, it looked like 2 sessions on team communication, 2 sessions on building trust and psychological safety, 2 sessions on promoting team accountability, and then a in-person wrap up where there is a post survey so that we can measure how did the team do? How did what's the impact we were able to make? And then a celebration. And then scenario 3 is a phased rollout. So again, beforehand, we would do a diagnostic. We might do some team member insights interviews, stakeholder interviews. And then phase 1 would be on creating team clarity. So review themes from insight interviews, and then we would build out the team blueprint. So aligning roles, responsibilities, strengths. And then phase 2, we would then focus on building the team trust, right? So building trust, psychological safety, how do we have productive team conflict? And then phase 3 is becoming this high performing team. And so mastering effective communication, promoting team accountability. And then we would again have some sort of a closing with the team. And there is, of course, an optional for this, like a one-on-one or small group coaching along the way to support the team. And then scenario 4 is a deep dive on one issue where we would start again, pre-diagnostic insights interviews, really understanding where the team is today. And then phase 1 would be having productive conflict, right? Really digging into sources and signs of conflict on the team and understanding the conflict continuum. We would then continue deep diving into this by digging into reactive versus responsive mindset, and then going deeper into the conflict with, sharing the conflict toolbox, and then practicing action planning, building out what that looks like for the team. And so I just shared 4 different possible scenarios. This is just 4. We typically co-create with the client based on what are their specific needs. But that should give you a sense of, well, what could this look like if this is something that I wanted to do for my team?